under pressure. It's the FMCG major, ITC, that has stepped up its COVID combat measures. One such operation that it's undertaken has been patterning or rather partnering with Sunrise to launch Be Natural Plus products. And our correspondent Neha Tyagi has all the details of this one.
It indeed is a proud day for Be Natural. We are launching this Be Natural Plus, as you mentioned, and the great thing is about it supports immunity with clinically proven ingredients. The story for developing this ingredient goes, and the credit for that goes to our scientists in our Life Science Technology Center, LSTC in Bangalore. We have been working on various kind of bioactive molecules over the years, and this was something that had been developed, tested, and as I explained in the call, it was clinically tested across with the specific CROs, as well as now it's available on CTRI, the Clinical Trial Registry of India. And this uses green coffee extract in a specific quantity, which is come from natural sources as well. And I think it's a great product coming in at this point of time when it's the season, it's hot season, people are looking for beverages. At the same time, because of the whole COVID pandemic, the need from consumers for looking at products which are more health, more nutrition oriented, the need for building your immunity is much higher. And I think we could not have timed it better. As I mentioned, the solution had been developed a few years back. But when we started the trends, we worked very rapidly with a lot of agility, and we've been able to bring it to the market.
Okay. So the second question has two parts. Firstly, what is the kind of opportunity that this kind of product provides? What is the kind of market that we're looking at, this immunity boosting drinks? Is there a specific market, and how big is that? And secondly, when you say that, the timing of the launch could not have been better given the kind of, increase in the demand for immunity boosting products. So going forward, is health and wellness going to be a big focus for ITC Foods?
Yes, I would like to take the second question first. Health and wellness is a trend that we have been observing for last few years. A lot of work has happened. We launched Ashirwad Sugar Release Control Atta. We have a whole range of farm-light biscuits with no maida made of Ashirwad Atta. We had launched a product which was with no added sugar as well. So there have been many platforms that we have been working on. But the right time also depends in terms of consumer needs. You can have a product, you can push it, but the consumer may not feel the need for it at that point of time. If the consumer has realized that it is important to look at food as an important source of products and nourishment and nutrition and therefore immunity.
What is the kind of market opportunity that we're looking at?
Right.
They're an established category already because we have the likes of Dabur and Patanjali in this category already. So what is the market size and opportunity that ITC is looking at?
Right. So the market size for food-based beverages is about 2,500 crore and growing. What ITC's Be Natural brings is certain unique things about it. First of all, it is made from Indian fruits, and therefore the supply chain goes to the Indian farmers. We do not believe in importing any concentrate or manufacturing anywhere outside the country. We are truly Indian. Our products are therefore all made from pulp, right? And in fact, this one orange is made from Santra from MP and Nagpur, right? And this is the product that we have. So even in terms of claims, vitamin C is good for immunity. So anybody has vitamin C, they can say it's got immunity. But I think what this is different and this is unique is it's the first product in the market with clinically proven ingredients which supports immunity.
Okay. So this partnership with Amway, if you could tell us a little bit more about that. Why? And Amway, it's a direct selling platform. It's a one-of-a-kind collaboration between FMCG and direct selling, a platform like that. So what is the partnership going to look like? Also, you mentioned earlier that the collaboration will take many forms going forward. So what are the kind of products that you have in the pipeline, or what other ways will we see these synergies between two companies?
Yeah, that was a long question. I think our strategic partnership, as we've talked about, between Amway and Be Natural, which is completely supported by our board and our chairman, who believes that we should constantly look at newer opportunities, what kind of alliances can be there to grow the market. Traditional FMCG companies operate with the traditional store, modern trade, e-com and stuff like that. But direct selling is where you actually talk, you have a chance to interact with the consumer and talk much more about the product. From Amway perspective, they are the largest in the world. This is the first time that they're doing a tie-up with any company in the world because they have so far been focused more from a nutraceutical perspective. But when you're looking at targeting newer audiences, you need to look at newer formats that can be created. Now, ITC is a great partner because of the number of formats that we play in. We have Ashirwad Atta in the staples format, and you can create products from the Atta space. We are large players in the Sunfeast biscuits platform, and you can create biscuit products with health benefits. We are players in the snack space, and a lot of Indian snacks can be created under our brand Bingo. We play with Yippee noodles there, confectionery. So we have a large portfolio, and you can use the technology of ITC's LSTC as well as the science base from Amway. Amway's got a brand called Nutrilite. We can work together, create more offers which will give you the benefit of both. And that is what I had mentioned, that going forward, this is the first product which is coming in, which is going through this channel. So there will be many more, and the teams are working aggressively on that.
So given the market conditions, the restrictions on production and on a lot of on travel, on mobility, etc., logistics, a lot of companies at this point are sort of hesitating when it comes to launching new products, and this seems like a huge launch from the company side. So at this point in time, what is your assessment of what production is looking like? Has the market improved? Has there was quite a bit of disruption as far as supplies is concerned. So has that eased down with the relaxations that are coming from the government?
I think the food has always been part of essential services, and therefore, technically speaking, food manufacturing had been allowed from day two itself. However, the challenges were there. You had to, the supply chains had got disrupted, and the challenge was for every company. I think it's about agility of ITC. We have almost 80 odd factories. I think we were one of the fastest to be off the block. We have not faced any challenges on raw material and packaging material supplies, but that is thanks to our vendor base and the work we do with them. My compliments to the manufacturing setup. All the people were there from day one. Even when all the workers were not coming, our people were there. And over a period of time, we communicated strongly about the safety and hygiene standards that are being followed. We went across to panchayats in the close-by markets, showed them the videos of how it is happening. People build confidence on that, okay, fine. And that's how we were able to gear up. And at the same time, I think supply chains were tough, and therefore there has been demand, product not being able to meet the demand from the consumers, and whichever brand was able to go in has had the opportunity. And I think I would say that we have been able to fairly meet the demand fairly well.
So you've tied up with quite a lot of, online food aggregators as well as, apps like Domino's for delivery of your products, given the traditional trade was, supply chains were disrupted for a while. So at this point in time, if you could give us an understanding of the kind of sales that are coming from these alternative, channels that you've discovered during this period.
That's a good point about discovering channels. I think it was not just about discovery, it was also about brainstorming and planning and looking at what could happen in the future. We had done a brainstorm session even before the lockdown happened, so we had identified, in fact, we were doing a review the other day and we found that all the areas that we had identified, we have been able to execute. One example that you talked about was Domino. That was a great partnership. We've been working with some of the others, Swiggy's and Dunzo's, which now a lot of other companies are also working. We started the first ITC store on wheels. We did realize that in so many places people are not able to come out. So we had a truck which was carrying ITC products. We would liaise with the RWAs and we would send our products over there, and we got some great compliments from the same. We started our itcstore.com, right, so where you can log in and actually place the order. And I think one of the unique things about ITC is the wide portfolio. So when an ITC truck goes, it is able to give you a full range from chocolates to frozen food to atta and to noodles, and it's a wide plethora of products that we are able to provide. How large it is going to be, it is going to remain, as another important piece of reaching the consumers, because the whole idea from an organization, from a brand owner, is that you should finally reach the consumer, whatever be the channel, right? And that's how we will continue to invest in these channels and make sure that, the products remain accessible for people.
So, but any percentage increase that you can give us in terms of, the sales that are happening through online and through these aggregators, if there is a quantum that you can share?
In fact, if you look at percentage increase, it's a hundreds and thousands of percentage increase, because earlier there was no business over there, right?
Okay.
But can these will they be able to replace your traditional trade? They will not be. But it is the same question that had happened when e-commerce had started, or when if you go back 10 years when modern trade had started. So every new channel takes its time. It's important to be early with the channel, to identify and to work together to make sure that your supply chains are balanced and the consumer is getting the right product.
So as far as what consumers are buying and putting in their basket, staples, of course, have been doing really well. Essentials have been doing well. But what we've been, seeing at this point in time through companies as well as through reports is that packaged foods like noodles and biscuits have now sort of becoming like the new essentials. As far as consumer preference is concerned. So if you could help us understand through key categories like noodles or biscuits, what is the kind of increase in sales that you've seen during this period, and if it is true that packaged food is now becoming essentials as well?
I think yes, packaged food, when we talk about Indian food industry per se, there are certain categories which have moved from unbranded to branded or unpackaged to packaged. Consumers' expectation of higher hygiene standards therefore is likely to move more and more products towards the packaged food. And I think we are uniquely positioned because we play in so many wide varieties of categories. Some of them where we play have not had, like an atta category, still the packaged form is not very large. So it is an inordinate, huge amount of growth potential in the future. Coming specifically to the kind of growth that we saw, yes, staples is what started with, very quickly followed by biscuits and noodles. That is because people were staying home. They were not going out, so therefore they need these conveniences. And I think I suspect that this particular category would have had a growth of at least about 10%. Having said that, it's also difficult because the supply lines of all companies are not very ready. So there were gaps at that point of time. So when I see my own growth, which is multifold, I can't say that the same thing would happen forever, because it's a function of how the category will grow. Having said that, we also looked at people moving into rural markets, so therefore there will be a potential coming in rural. But the economy per se is going to be stressed. So overall, how the food category will grow, we'll have to see. Nielsen had shown some kind of a decline in the overall category. The question would be about individual players, how well are they positioned, and how well they are able to create unique products, specific products, reach it, and get your rightful share.
Sure. So just lastly, sir, I can't let you go without asking, because it's a very recent development, the acquisition that has been planned of Sunrise Foods. What is the kind of timeline that one is looking at, the kind of revenue addition, because Ashirwad already sells, spices. So in that sense, what is the kind of revenue addition? And, going forward in the larger plan of things where ITC is trying to focus more on the FMCG business and scale up the FMCG business, where does this acquisition sort of fit in?
So Neha, as you said that you can't not stop for asking this question, I can also say that I can't stop not answering the question, right? I think whatever I can say is already in the public domain, and we will wait after the transaction is completed to have more serious discussions around that.
Meantime, let's get you the latest update.